Okay, so E3 wasn't so great for Nintendo. But that's why I'm here. Hey everyone, Jason Matz here, and welcome to another discussion. And I'm going to talk about one of the games, but I'm going to talk about E3 for just a second. A lot of E3 was actually pretty good. I liked Microsoft's. I kind of liked EA's. Sony's was just amazing. Ubisoft was expected, not that great. And Square Enix was just underwhelming overall because, well, all their games were announced by Microsoft and Sony, and I think one of them was announced at EA, but I can be mistaken. But then we go to Nintendo. A lot of people were very disappointed with Nintendo's E3 digital event. And I can see why. There weren't that many good games. Star Fox was pretty much their biggest hit. And then right after that would be Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, which I am so freaking excited about that. I love both of the Mario RPGs, and it's going to be so fun to play that. Overall, all we saw was stuff we already knew about, and we should have gotten that in the mini direct earlier this month, which kind of confused me because most of the E3 announcements would have been perfect for the mini direct, and some of the announcements from the mini direct, in my opinion, would have been great for E3. That's really all I can say. But there is one game that everyone is just steamed about, and for good reason. So there was a game known as Blast Ball that they showed at the Nintendo World Championships. It looks pretty good. I thought it looked interesting at the very least. I didn't know it was a Metroid Prime game. And then, in the Direct, they announced Metroid Prime Federation Force, along with Metroid Prime Blast Ball. And I can see why Metroid fans can be so upset about this, because at first, I agree, it didn't look too much like a Metroid game. Well, it did, it just didn't have the story elements of one. If there was even a story to begin with. But later that day, which is yesterday of this recording, about that night, I went on Facebook, and then I saw IGN's post, kind of an interview with the producer of the game, and it does make sense now. The Metroid Prime game kind of makes a little bit of sense, and let me read a little bit to you guys so you can all be on foot with me. We asked Tanabe if Metroid Prime and Federation Force is the only Metroid Prime game he's working on, and he quotes, I said this at the beginning, but I'm not involved in the 2D Metroid games that Yoshio Sakamoto works on. I still feel that there's a little more work left for me to do the Metroid Prime series. I can't say when, but I want to make another one. And then he reminded us about the ending of Metroid Prime 3, which shows Samus flying away into space, and then Sylux chasing after her. And he quotes, he's actually chasing after Samus, and that's where the game ends. There's still more I want to build all around the story of Sylux and Samus. There's something going on between them. I want to make a game and touch upon it. And here's where things are going to get interesting, guys. He quotes, I'm also thinking that, in that eventual time between Sylux and Samus, that might get made that I want to involve the Galactic Federation as well. So it would be a good idea to release a game like Federation Forces to flesh out its role in the galaxy before moving on to that. So it does make sense, it really does. Now, it does make a little bit of sense why this game is coming out. This isn't about Autonomous, this is pretty much about the Federation. And this is going to lead up to Metroid Prime 4. Which I think is a good idea. I think it's a very fantastic idea. And I'll be looking forward to it. The problem, though, is... well, there's two problems. One is the fan base, which... they want a new Metroid Prime game, Metroid Prime 4, and this doesn't meet their expectations. And I want to get this video out to them, saying... it's coming! He said it straight up that he wants to make a Metroid Prime 4. This game is going to lead up to that. So, I think you should be... I think you guys should be a little bit patient. And if you can't, well, that's going to be a problem. Because the rest of us really want to wait for Metroid Prime 4. You can't rush perfection. If you make the production of Metroid Prime 4 go faster, you're gonna have a rushed game. This game is gonna make Metroid Prime 4 make a little bit more sense in the long run. So you really do want to take that into consideration. The other problem is, and I agree full-heartedly with everyone here, this shouldn't have been an E3 announcement. Well, actually, I should back up. I think some of the game makes sense for an E3 announcement, but there are some things that doesn't really make sense. Well, it doesn't make too much sense. But whether this is an E3 announcement or not, I think this is a very good game. And I also want to talk about how the other titles where everyone was just annoyed that this was a very underwhelming game. Take into account that the past year had some very amazing games. Last E3 was great. The E3 before then was also great. And then I think the one before that was also amazing, but I don't think I've ever watched that. So it makes sense that they would make something a little more mediocre instead of the best one it could have had. Because you can't really expect every E3 conference to be like the best thing ever. Because it just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Last year we had Smash Brothers, we had Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for Pokemon. We had Kirby and Rainbow Curse, if you want to count that, I guess. Puzzle and Dragons, that wasn't too big, but I can see why people would want that kind of thing. And then before then was The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, and then a lot of other good games they had over the years, and I don't think they had any good games this year because of that. So yeah, it does make a little bit of sense why this E3 wasn't as good as it could have been. Am I excited for the titles in this direct? Yeah, I am very excited for all of these, except for both of the Animal Crossing ones, because I'm not too big on Animal Crossing, and I can see why people really don't like how they're going with those. Oh good lord, there's gonna be so much hate with that one. Although I'm not sure if there's gonna be more hate than Metroid, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, give it some time, guys. Metroid Prime 4 is being thought up at this moment, and this is going to lead up to it. And I think that's a very good idea. I think that's a very fantastic idea. So let's just wait and see what they have in store for Metroid, because they said they're going to make the best they can, and I'm fine with that. This has been Jason Windmaster. I will see you guys in the next video.